and welcome to the help video for the March 30th Advanced Percussion Module. There is also an Intermediate Percussion Module, and you may choose Intermediate or Advanced based on your current skill level. Your assignment is to perform the music in this module and submit a video or audio recording of yourself. The due date is Sunday, April 5th at 11:59 p.m. Video is the preferred format, but if technological limitations prohibit that, audio only will also be accepted. If you are submitting audio only, please start the recording with your name and the title of the assignment. For example, for this module, before I begin playing, I would say, "My name is Philip Welder, and this is the March 30th Advanced Percussion Module." Grades are participation-based, but appropriate feedback will be given. Please make an effort to record and submit early so that you have time to solve any problems there might be with submission. A maximum of 2 late assignments will be accepted, but strive to submit your assignments on time every time. All band directors will be available for help in Microsoft Teams Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. and 1 to 3 p.m. if you have questions. So here we go. Well, let's dive into the technical section. The first exercise here is full strokes with modulation. It's 110 beats per minute, and I'll go ahead and play it for you, and we'll talk about a couple things, but I don't think this one's going to give anyone any trouble. You can perform it with a metronome or without. I'm going to do it with. I strongly suggest doing it with, but if you don't perform it with a metronome, certainly practice it with a metronome. So here we go. This is full strokes with modulation. Okay, so no big deal, and this is basically 8 on a hand with a little bit of turbo action at the end. So we want to strive for relaxation throughout this exercise. So if you feel yourself getting tense at any point, particularly when we transition from the 8th notes to the 8th note triplets, you can slow the tempo down and practice this and work your way up tempo-wise so that you can stay relaxed playing all these full strokes. The goal is to make all the notes the same volume. If you're playing traditional grip like I am, your sticks will be pitched a little bit differently, so don't worry about that. But the idea is to make both hands sound the same volume. And the metronome work, again, is going to be really important on this one. But that's all I want to say about that. Let's move on now to paradiddle building blocks. Again, it's the same tempo. I'll play through it for you, and we'll talk about a couple things. So this is 110 beats per minute again. And this is paradiddle building blocks. Okay? So a couple things to go over with this one. Start this one at a slow tempo. I wouldn't start it at 110. I'd play a couple tempos below that to get you started off with. But it's a fairly straightforward exercise. What we're doing is we're just playing bits and pieces of paradiddles. The sticking pattern doesn't really change, but we're adding notes in as we go along. This is kind of in 2-bar phrases, and so one thing that might be helpful is to loop 2 bars. So like the first 2 bars, you can loop those for a little while, get comfortable with that. Loop the next 2 bars, so on and so forth. Watch the accents. These are always on the downbeat, and paradiddles naturally sort of accent. We call that an agogic accent when there's an on-the-beat accent, and so watch out for those accents and be sure that you're performing those. The stickings are really important here, obviously. A paradiddle really is a sticking pattern, and so be very faithful to what the stickings are as the way that they're written in the part. So good luck with paradiddle building blocks. Okay, so now we're going to look at Gate 34, which is the musical portion of this module. It is an excerpt from a Scott Johnson solo from his book Progression. I don't know if y'all have the book or not, but it's a great book for rudimental drumming. Scott Johnson obviously is the percussion caption head for the Blue Devils, and so knows a thing or two about rudimental drumming. Anyway, this is a fairly basic solo, though. I do want to play this excerpt through for you, and then we'll visit about a couple things. So here's 120 beats per minute, and let's get started. Okay, so that's gate 34, excuse me. That's gate 34. The first 8 measures basically, plus the downbeat of the 9th measure. A couple things to go over with this. Start slow, use a metronome. You guys know that, but sometimes it helps to be reminded. But start slow and use a metronome for sure on this one. Watch your dynamics and accents. This is kind of in 2-bar phrases again. So the first 2 bars are in forte, next 2 bars mezzo piano, forte for 2 bars, mezzo piano for 2 bars, and so the phrases are sort of outlined that way. So watch your dynamics in this and be faithful to the dynamics and as well as the accents when those crop up. Measures 7 and 8. This kind of looks confusing when you first look at it. 7 and 8 are the same. The 16th notes happen to be written out in measure 7, and in measure 8 it's just written a different way. So both measures are 2 8th notes followed by 8 16th notes. With double strokes, it's just written out 2 different ways. So don't let that throw you when you see that. If necessary, break this piece up into smaller bits. I might just take the first bar and practice that a little bit and get comfortable with it. Play it again. Once I'm comfortable with that, I can move on to measure 2. And be building it up like that. Also, it's in 3/4. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. I know you can read time signatures because you're the advanced percussionists, but don't let that time signature make you feel stupid when you realize why it doesn't line up. But when you're putting this back together, I suggest doing it slowly. So doing the 2-bar phrases is a good idea. But when you put the whole piece together, try to do this at a slow tempo with the metronome. The reason for that is that if there's a challenge with this at all in these first 8 measures, it's that the dynamic transitions can trick you if you're not ready for them. And so practicing those transitions at a really slow tempo, it seems like it would be really simple, and it is really simple, but you've got to be ready for it. And so practicing these transitions, especially at a slow tempo, will help you do them successfully. Okay, and that's it for gate 34. All right, so finally let's look at the sight reading section. This is Frère Jacques. We all know this song. This is, I know I'm going to get this question, do we really have to sight read it? Do we really just have to be honest about just taking one shot at it and that's it? No, that's not what it's about. You can practice this. The idea is to get you reading music off the staff. And so the intermediate percussion module has something similar. This is another very simple melody like that one. It's just uses a little bit bigger range and it's a little bit longer, but it's the same idea basically. So this is Frère Jacques. And what you're going to do is go to your Xylophone 3D app, which I have right here. Make sure that the silent mode is turned off, and you can actually practice this. And so I'm going to play through Frère Jacques for you on my Xylophone 3D app. It may pick up on the computer, it may not, but let me just play through this for you so that you can see kind of what it's like. But the other nice thing is you can kind of hold it up and you can see the music and the keyboard at the same time, which you can't do in real life, so you might as well take advantage of it. So here we go. This is Frère Jacques. And that's it. So when you're ready to record it, you can just screen record this. Again, silent mode has to be off, but I'm going to, if you don't know how to screen record, get one of your friends to show you how to do it. It's really easy. It's different on iPhone and Android, but it's a really easy thing to do. So like I said, if you don't know, reach out to a friend and they can show you how to screen record. But when you're ready to record, you can make a video of yourself playing and it'll record the sound and everything. So I'm going to press screen record. Go back to my xylophone, and I'll play Frère Jacques again, and you can see how it turns out in a video. So here's Frère Jacques again. I'm recording this time. And I'll end the screen recording, and it says screen recording video saved to photos, so I'm going to go to photos now, and I'll show you what it looks like. You can actually just send, literally from your phone, you can send this recording in as your assignment. So let me get to it and play it for you. Okay, here we go. And simple as that. So it's not as good as the real thing, but it gets you playing and reading mouths a little bit. So, and that's it for the sight reading. So I look forward to seeing y'all's assignments, and let me know if you have questions.